welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about. Well, the names have all changed since you hung around, but those dreams have remained and they've turned around. Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Back here where we need ya. Back here where we need ya. Yeah, the T's in my lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back. All right, give a stretch. Oh, that's good. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hopefully that last work session was a productive one for you. For me, kind of. I was like researching some stuff, so that came out all right, but not too much on the projects I'm trying to work on today. So, because I'm going to need more time, consecutive time, like continuous time, to be able to fill the ink and all that other stuff. So I'm going to do that after the study session. So, but I'm doing like some post-radio show promo stuff, getting a little bit of that stuff out the way. So for this break, I wanted a couple of things. We're going to talk about a couple of things. I'm going to post the links to everything I'm going to talk about. So be next to the recording on untilit.works. And I'm going to go through a whole bunch of different links here. And so the first one, I figured we'd go talk about a little bit of news that happened this past week. And so we've spoken about this company previously, maybe like a few months ago, I think. And so this is Void Zero, right? Shout out to Evan Yu. I met him actually. It was a JavaScript conference in Atlanta. And it was the VueConf? It might have been VueConf because Evan created Vue. And from that, he's created different tooling around it that helps the whole JavaScript ecosystem all together. And so they have a bunch of different tools. So like Vite Plus, Vite, OXC, Roll Down. I think they pronounce it Oxy. I'm not sure. Vite Test, and a whole bunch of stuff here. Right? So all these cool things here. I kind of tell you what they all do. So we went through this before, and they had a new thing called, what was it? I think it was Vite Plus. It was like a whole thing that you could like pay for, because all this stuff is pretty much free. It's open source, right? But then they had a thing. I was like, oh, good. So they'll have a thing that we can make money from. But it looks like they actually, they don't have to worry about that money now, because they just joined Cloudflare. And that's pretty dope. And so I'm going to post a link to this also so you can go to it directly. And so basically, the too long didn't read. Again, shouts to Evan Yu. We are excited to announce that Void Zero is joining Cloudflare. Vite Test, Roll Down, Oxy, I think, and Vite Plus will remain open source and MIT licensed, which is dope. Evan and the rest of the Void Zero team will continue to lead these projects, with Cloudflare fully committed to supporting our mission. So that's pretty dope. So we're going to kind of keep it going. And so you can read this here. Cloudflare also have their own announcement. And let me copy this. I'm going to add this to the list of links. We got this from them as well. And let me see. There was something. Where was it? So Cloudflare's mission is to help build a better internet. And a better internet is an open internet. Developers need choice. Frameworks need a neutral foundation, and applications need to be portable. It is not reasonable to expect the entire web ecosystem to build around a single vendor. The most important tools and frameworks are portable by design. So that's pretty dope. And so, like I mentioned, it remains MIT licensed, open source, yada, yada, yada. There was something. Oh, here we go. So we also want to put our money where our mouth is when it comes to our support for open source and shared ecosystem foundations. As part of this announcement, Cloudflare is committing $1 million to a Vite ecosystem fund to support maintainers and contributors, administered by the Vite core team. Vite is bigger than Void Zero or Cloudflare, and the people who have helped build it should be part of what comes next. So that's pretty dope. And then let's see. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff cool there. So you can see the Cloudflare V plugin jumped up a lot. And some AI stuff here. So yeah, so you can go ahead and read the whole thing. It's pretty dope. All right. So now, speaking of AI, I created a new website. You know what I'm saying? It's for my like side business. The thing I was mentioning about how I need to get these printers and all this stuff running. I need to go work on this project. So I created a brand new website, and I actually have a couple of domain names for it because I figured that. Let me share this tab instead. So my side project is called Conscious Works, and the website is conscious.works. But I also I figured it might be difficult for people to have to remember how to spell conscious, right? And so I I bought another domain name, and I thought it'd be a little easier to remember. And the domain is getthis.work. All right. And so, because it's kind of like I said, you go and get this work. You know what I'm saying? So getthis.work. I figured that would be a little bit better. I'm not sure. I think that sounds pretty good. And so I created this site, and I kind of want to like go through it really quickly, right? So it starts off here, right? I'm a big fan of like just like simple colors, just like black and white. A lot of my stuff is like black and white, some grays or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Just like some like neutral colors. And so it starts off here, right? And I wanted it to look like a separation, like two things kind of together though, right? So if you scroll up, it'll tell you a little bit more about Conscious. And it says, say, hi, I'm Dwayne, aka Conscious. All right. And here it has like the latest audio, the latest episode from my radio show here. So this is kind of like all the different stuff I'm into, like personally and doing stuff for it. You know what I'm saying? Outside of my like side business. And so like I have the radio show, you know what I'm saying? So you can actually click this and and you see I announced it on the radio show as well yesterday. And you click the
President, to what extent are Americans' financial situations motivating you to make it?
And you can pause it. You see, I like little animations there.
Not even.
You can like fast forward. I'm kind of proud of the little animation of like the numbers coming up, and so that's pretty cool. And then T-shirts I make and stuff. So here, yeah, you can like pick up a T-shirt or whatever, or something, hoodie or whatever. And notice I'm a big fan of also like, you'll know I did a website if you see like dialogues and details tags, you know what I'm saying? Detail elements. I'm a big fan of those. I think they're pretty cool. And then, so my day job, I code, and I have like these things here. And you notice like up here, it kind of like updates. And all this is just HTML and CSS, like this whole carousel, all HTML and CSS, like using the different like the new capabilities of like the web, you know what I'm saying? And so that's pretty cool. Yeah, so there's that, right? Cool. And then so that's all the different stuff. Oh, here's the thing that I do. How do I have time? All the stuff here. So it has all my other like side projects that I make here, you know what I'm saying? Then you go back, and then that whole transition, that's all CSS also, you know what I'm saying? And so I think because this is such a wide screen, it's kind of weird, but it looks a bit smoother on like the more narrow screens or what have you. But yeah, so now that's like my outside of work stuff. And then here's like the business stuff, right? And this kind of showcases the different projects that I've been working on. And I'm working on something else, but I don't have it here because it's not actually done yet. But if you want to follow for behind the scenes stuff, I got a mailing list. So again, another dialog box. And then in the dialog box, all have like light dismiss. So I'm able to like click on them, click outside, but I also have this close button. All right. Then a link to Instagram. I'll be posting random stuff there every once in a while and stuff. So yeah, so those are there. Cool. All right. So now these are the projects so far that are kind of like out there and, ready for consumption. You know what I'm saying? And so shout out to these folks. Super dope. They have like Chase and Mellow Studios, and they have this really cool series where I found out about them. So I open this up. You see, then I have like another dialogue, and they have this series called the Roundtable Game Show. And when I was watching, I just came across it on YouTube, and I came across it, and I was watching it, and I started like binge watching it. And I started getting all these different ideas for different cool things that might be kind of nice, like things for their fans to have, you know what I'm saying? Like merchandise or what have you, you know what I'm saying? Kind of based on the show. And so some of the stuff I came up with, so I have like the logo here. I have all their different social medias here that I could find. And then also what I created was like some coasters. And so I have this, so there's like dialogue on top of dialogue, you know what I'm saying? So it's pretty cool. And then I have, so it goes away. So you can see there. So I just took these pictures, you know what I'm saying, of them. And then, and this is like the packaging. This is like how they look on the outside. Underneath, I have like the little cork thing so they don't go sliding around and stuff. And this is like the boxes I make. Actually, I don't know if you can see the laser, but I use the laser because it's like a black box, but then I use the laser to kind of like put the actual designs on it. So that's pretty dope. And on the inside, it's like their tagline. And then I also created like a keychain. And what's cool is that so that's what it looks like. And then here, and this is like the bag that it comes in. And then so I also had like the videos. I also did like little videos. And so you can kind of check it out. There's no sound or anything. And so I kind of show like, because that outer part can kind of like spin a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And so there's that. All right, cool. All right, so then there's that. And again, all those different things. This is important. I'm going to talk about why I'm talking about this. And then this is the very first one. I think I've spoken about this before. And so this is, I did this last year, and it was the double EP vinyl, and with, Homeboy Sandman, Yitz, and Illingsworth. Cool. So I have that. So I have like little Bandcamp players here. Again, you can check out like the see larger video, like larger images and stuff, right? And then I have, so there's all the other stuff here. And so again, it's just, and they have like corresponding videos. Now, what's cool is that I made the website, right? And I was like, all right, because I was like, these folks, Chase and Mello, they wanted to go, because they like the stuff we made, right? And they really like it, and they want to shout me out like on social media and stuff. Like, all right, well, I want to have a website, you know what I'm saying, so people can go, because before it was just like a coming soon thing, but like, no, I want to have something out there. And so I knew what I wanted, right? And I didn't have like time to try and code. Well, I still had to like code it and like fix some bugs or whatever. But the general idea, I kind of like put into bolt.new. I'll post a link to them as well. Shouts to Stack Blitz. I'm a big fan of Stack Blitz. I use Stack Blitz on a bunch of stuff. And save this here. All right. So what I did was, so you can kind of see here, is that I knew the technologies I wanted to use. And I had an idea of how I wanted to look. And so I just put that into here. And so I said, I'm looking to build a responsive UI element built with just HTML and vanilla CSS, right? And nothing else. That is a one column. At the top of the section is an image and a list of social media accounts that would be held, right? And so I go through all that, blah, 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 right? And then I talk about, well, the rest of the column consists of detailed elements. Again, I'm a big fan of details. And that will work like an accordion where only one detailed element can be open at a time. And I put in the link to the actual MDN section that talks about how to do it. And then we spoke about this before, but the open class pseudo class, CSS pseudo class, I was like, I want that so that you can tell, you can stop. So it's different on the actual opened detailed elements. All right. And I said, I want the overall height to be this thing. And so it did its thing, worked out a bunch of stuff. And then I was like, I want to put a button because I wanted to open up in the dialogue. And so it did that there. I was like, hey, I'm going to have some videos. Please create an icon, like SVG of it. And it made it, which is kind of dope. And so here it is. So you can see it's similar. And so you can see it's different because I changed some stuff. But like right here, it created these icons for me as SVGs. So I didn't have to go and try to create them. So I just like copied the SVGs and put it into my project, the ones that I needed. And yeah, so you kind of see how it, well, this is broken for some reason. I'm not sure. Oh, I think it's because of all this here, whatever. But again, I just use this as a basis, and you kind of see how the open one is a different color. Let me go back to mine because it's kind of weird there. Share this tab instead. So you can kind of see, I changed the colors around too, because again, I like shades of gray and black and white. And so you can kind of see how this open one is a different style from these other ones. So you can kind of tell which one is open. And so that's that. And then, yeah, so that's that. Cool. So I'm wrapping it all up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I use some AI to help kind of like generate and get me the idea, get me closer to what I wanted. And then I kind of fixed where I needed to be, because I still need to put in the Astro project. And so I just put in the Astro project. And then I also created another component in Astro. So like all this media, I call it like media dialogue. So all these different, so I didn't have to keep rewriting just for to get this dialogue working. So I just made a generic media dialogue component, and I pass in like the URL that I want to show, whether it's a video or image, and like alt text or whatever, and it will go ahead and just do the dialogue and all that other stuff for me there. So pretty cool stuff. Most of it is just HTML, CSS, right? I had to use some JavaScript because I, again, wanted this to be a certain height at all times. So when I open these, everything else kind of goes down. So it doesn't shrink to it. I thought that was it would be weird, like if this dialogue kept changing height. And so I wanted to keep it a consistent height. In order to do that, like when it opens, it measures like the content and everything, and like the whole thing, and it will make this the size of that. I don't know if that makes sense. All that so that it stays at the 75. I think I have like 75, or did I make it 80? I might change it to like 80. The view height width. View height. Yes. Viewport height. Whatever it is. But yeah, like VH, basically 75 or 80 VH. And so that way, so I know the total, right? And I know how much this takes up. So then I can say like how much the rest need to take up or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, because I know how much each one of these are. And then I know like, all right, well then if I have all this, this is how much I can, to be able to show it. Because I know the height of this, I know the height of this, each one of those headers. And so I can know how big to make this section here to fill it all up. So that's basically what I'm doing. So every time this changes, there's like a quick calculation. Yeah, cool. So yeah, that's only really JavaScript, everything, but everything else works just HTML, CSS. So pretty cool stuff. Now, speaking of cool stuff that's on the internet, I wanted to talk about this other blog post. We went over the things that happened in the new stuff in April, I believe. Last month, I think it was. Maybe, I don't remember. Or a couple of weeks ago, I don't remember. But here is the stuff that came to the what was the one? Hold on, let me see something here. What we spoke about last time. Okay, yeah. So new to web platform. I think one of these we went over. I don't remember. But there's like a newer one. This came out like this last week, within this week. So if you're gonna want to talk about this. All right. Shouts to Jeremy Wagner, who I actually met in Korea, South Korea, for a JavaScript conference there. It was JavaScript Korea, something like that. And yes, shouts to the folks there. Really cool. They really put together a really dope conference. All right, so we want to talk about this real quick. So because there's the State of CSS 2026 survey, so you can go ahead and check that out. It's open now. You have until July 1st. But there's container queries here. So this is what I actually used to make the opened detailed box look different. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a selected one to tell that was the one that was open. And that's what I used there. And that's what I told bolt.new to use to make it for that. So there I didn't have to do like any JavaScript, anything like listen for a click and then change the CSS or anything like that, the class. What was this? When working with a popover API, reacting to state changes is crucial. The source with toggle event property to the toggle event interface returns a control element that triggered the popover. Oh, okay. Toggle action. Oh, that's cool. This lets you identify the origin of the event and coordinate complex UI interactions. Okay, so depending on what you click to open a pop-up, the popover, you can do different things. That's pretty cool. I have to look into that more. Image rendering property. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know you could do that. This is particularly useful for pixel art, low resolution images, or QR codes where it's important to avoid blurry interpolation and keep scaling sharp and pixelated. Oh, there's an image rendering CSS property. That's cool. Look into that. All right. There's some other stuff. This I thought was pretty cool. So now this is, it looks like a 1, but it's L for line height. So it's LH, length unit, right? And so the LH relative unit corresponds to the computed line height of the element on which it is used. This makes it simpler to size elements such as icon badges or background highlights to perfectly match the height of the line of text. So kind of like how I had all the like social media icons, being able to match them so that they're the same height as the text that's there. That's pretty cool. And then there's a relative line height there. And then this one's pretty cool too. The navigator user activation. Many web APIs such as video playback, pop-ups, or clipboard access. And I use on this actual site, untilit.works, I have it to where, well, I don't have it. It's a thing in the browser that if you come to the site and we're in the middle of a break session, the video won't autoplay because browsers don't allow for autoplay video with audio unless you like interacted with the site before. And so if you're jumping right into the page, you haven't interacted with the site yet. And so this would like be able to tell me like, hey, did the person interact with the site yet? Before I load the video or try to play the video, be like, hey, maybe put up something, hey, you need to click this to be able to start the video or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And so that's pretty cool. I use something similar for another site. And so that'd be good to know. And then user invalid pseudo class. So yeah, so there's a lot of cool stuff coming to the web, and just so a lot of cool things you could probably use to replace some older things in your applications. When it's time to like rework everything. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of go over all those things. All right. So again, don't forget my website, my new website, conscious.works or getthis.work. All right. So yeah. All right. I think that is going to be it. Thanks for hanging out. I'm going to send you all off with some traveling music. This right here is from an artist that goes by the name. Well, let me close this. I'm done with that. It goes by the name of A Butter. He used to go by A Butter, or I think it still does, but he also goes by Anthony Cruz. The track. There we go. Cool. Making sure everything's caught up. All right. So the track's called Thank You. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you like 15 minutes after the hour. We'll take a look at an artist's website, listen to music, watch some videos, maybe you'll become a fan. And but until then, thanks for hanging out. I wish you much productivity, and y'all be easy. See you soon. All right. Peace. Anthony Cruz, aka A Butter. Thank you.
I want to say thank you for holding on when a brother was down and out. Now I feel so strong, and I want to say thank you for being there when the brother had nowhere to turn to. You were there, and I feel like yeah. And everybody says yeah. We spread love like yeah. I want to say thank you for holding on when a brother was down and out. Now I feel so strong, and I want to say thank you for being there